great atrium had become a living laboratory. Under the watchful, unblinking eyes of the cameras embedded in the ceiling, the 300 survivors had begun to transform. Esther moved through the crowd like a general on a battlefield. Her surgical mind, once focused on suturing arteries, was now focused on the flow of energy. She spent hours with Mache near the central fountain. "Don't fight the liquid, Mache," Esther whispered, her hand hovering near the water's surface. "Feel the molecular weight of it. It's a part of you now." Mache closed her eyes, sweating with the effort. Slowly, a globule of water rose from the fountain, spinning into a perfect, shimmering sphere. Masha laughed, a sound of pure joy that cut through the tension of the room. "I did it, Esther. I can feel the current." Esther beamed, but her attention was pulled toward the shadows of the far wall. Xerxes was there, sitting alone. He was tracing his finger along the floor, and where he touched, the stone turned to molten glass and then back to solid rock. He looked up, his dark eyes meeting hers. He quickly looked down, his face flushing a deep red, but he didn't pull away when Esther walked over. "You're doing the earth work again," she said softly, sitting a respectful distance away. "It's beautiful." Xerxes cleared his throat, his voice barely a murmur. It feels like it wants to move. I'm just letting it." He paused, then dared a glance at her. "How do you handle all of it? The air, the fire, the way the electricity hums in your skin?" "I don't think I'm handling it," Esther admitted, her voice dropping so the cameras wouldn't pick it up. "I think I'm just too busy making sure everyone else is okay to let myself freak out." Xerxes reached out, his hand hovering inches from hers. For a moment, a tiny spark of static electricity jumped between their fingertips. Not a shock, but a warm magnetic pull. A small, shy smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. High above, behind reinforced one-way glass, Dr. Aras watched the monitors with predatory hunger. "Look at the readings," his assistant whispered. "Patient 114 and patient 22. They aren't just manifesting one element. They're cycling through all 7. Earth, water, air, electricity, metal, fire, and healing. They are the apex of the Emerald Initiative." Aras narrowed his eyes. "They're bonding. That's a variable we didn't account for. Separate them. Bring them to the crucible. Let's see which one is the true alpha." The transition was violent. Gas flooded the atrium, and Esther woke up in a room made of white, unbreakable polymer. Xerxes was on the opposite side. "Fight," a voice boomed over the intercom. "The one who survives gets food. The one who wins gets freedom." Esther looked at Xerxes. He was trembling, his hands flickering with flame and then frost. He looked terrified of his own power. "Xerxes, don't," Esther shouted. "They want a show. Don't give it to them." Days passed. The scientists cut the oxygen thin. They withheld food until Esther's ribs began to show, and Xerxes could barely stand. They sent mechanical drones to provoke them, stinging them with electric prods. Every time a drone struck Xerxes, Esther used her healing gift to mend his wounds from across the room. Every time a drone moved toward Esther, Xerxes used his control over metal to crush the machine into a ball of scrap. They didn't fight each other, they protected each other. Finally, the voice over the intercom returned, sounding frustrated. "Useless. Return them to the general population. If they won't fight, they can rot together." When they were dumped back into the atrium, weak and starving, Masha rushed to them with scraps of hoarded bread. But as Esther leaned against a pillar to catch her breath, she noticed a new face among the crowd. A young girl, barely 18, with bright blue eyes and a look of wide-eyed innocence that felt out of place in this grim fortress. "Hi," the girl said, stepping forward with a bottle of water. "I'm Alice. I just got here this morning. I was so scared until I saw what you did for him." She pointed to Xerxes. Alice's smile was sweet, and she immediately began helping Masha tend to the others. She was helpful, kind, and seemingly fragile. Nobody noticed the way her eyes lingered on the cameras or the way she carefully listened to every word Esther and Xerxes whispered to one another. The scientists hadn't given up. They had just changed their tactics.